Hey, Kiki Black here, and this is my 13-week postpartum update. Getting used to new mom life, baby life, postpartum things. As far as baby Lobo goes, he has been amazing. Of course, adjusting to being a new mom is definitely challenging at times. Getting used to his sleep schedule while trying to put him on a sleep schedule has been interesting. I did create a sleep schedule through ChatGPT, which I was trying to follow. But he seems like he's teething. It's only 13 weeks, so around 3 months, but it seems like he's teething. He's had a lot of saliva and stuff being produced, and his hands and his mouth really itchy, so that has kind of interfered with the sleep schedule. But we do have like a ballpark sleep schedule-ish. He normally goes to bed around 10, 11, around that time, and then he normally wakes up once through the night, and then not again until around 6 a.m. Now it's to the point where he'll be sleeping but kind of like fidgeting around, so I'll know it's around that time for him to be fed again, so I'll go ahead and get a bottle, or either I'll breastfeed him in the middle of the night, and then just come back around, put him back to sleep, change the diaper, put him back to sleep, and all of that. We went to get our vaccinations for baby Lobo yesterday. We went to a local place. So initially, so as you guys know, I'm here in Panama City, Panama, Central America, and we had a pediatrician that we were working with, and she told us that he needed 3 vaccinations when we went for our follow-up visit, and we were confused because we thought we were supposed to go somewhere else, because she gave us almost like not a prescription, but she wrote it down, and like the way she gave it to us, so we were like trying to take the paper somewhere else. And it turns out she was like, no, you guys come back here for the vaccinations. And we're like, oh, well, how much are the vaccinations? Well, can we get in? But she kind of like didn't really answer the question on like how much it was. And then we asked her again, because we're like, hey, it's 3 vaccinations. We didn't know how much it is, especially because we tend to take out cash for our appointments here in Panama City, Panama. We don't have insurance yet. Although baby Lobo definitely can get a pretty decent insurance because he is Panamanian, he was born here. And so we asked her, she was like, okay, $250, and we're like, all right. So we're like, okay, so we're gonna do it next week, the following week, and that was the plan. And so Micah was talking to one of his clients down at Wild Club, Panama, which we both were doing the class there. Since I got pregnant, I stopped doing the class, and he's pretty much taking it over. But one of the young ladies that goes to the class, she was like, oh no, you guys should go to such and such. I can't remember the name of the place, but we did go down. And so he was like, oh, well, how much are the vaccines there? Like, do you know like a ballpark range? And she was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, how much are the vaccinations? And the lady was like, he's a child. And he was like, yeah, so how much are the vaccinations? And then the lady was like, they're free, like, just go get the vaccination. So apparently here in Panama, kids get free vaccinations unless you keep asking for the cost, then I guess they'll come up with the cost for you. So I was like, whoa, like, did we just get got? Or I don't know, I'm not sure. But I think it may just be because we were doing, when I gave birth in a private hospital. And then the pediatrician that we use, I guess she would be considered private as well. So I guess when it's like that, you get to charge the fees that you want to charge. But anyway, we found the free place. And so we went there yesterday. It was a small building, like in some of the neighborhoods, not so much city area. It was like a little bit further out. And we went in there, and there were so many people. I was like, oh my goodness. And we were confused, so there's obviously a language barrier there. Both of us are working on our Spanish, but we definitely need some work. We need to keep working. We've been working, and then hopefully we'll be getting a tutor soon. So we're kind of trying to figure out like what to do. When you come in, there's like a waiting area, and then there's like 4 windows, and each window says something different. Like one says pediatrician, one says something else, and then the other one says something else and something else, which I can't remember. But all of this is in Spanish, but my Spanish is getting a little bit better, and a lot of the words are similar. So even if I didn't know it right off, I can kind of tell what it was. So we went in the line that said pediatrician or pediatric, And the lady was like, oh, like, she pointed down the hallway. So then we go down the hallway, and we're kind of like around. There's even more people just waiting and waiting. And so Micah goes to the window, and he asks the lady, like, you know, what do we do? And she said, oh, just wait for your name to be called. So I'm like, well, babe, like, they don't have our name. They don't have any of our information. Like, what, how, is there some ticket we need to do? Is there something, what do we need to do to get in the line for whatever? So he was like, yeah, that's a good point. So he goes up there with the lady, and it turns out they had like these plastic numbers. Like, there were numbers, but they like had them laminated. So you just take a number. And so the way it is each area, there's waiting areas, so people everywhere, waiting areas everywhere, but different people are coming for different stuff. So some people might be coming to get a vaccination for themselves. Some people might be coming to get a vaccination for the baby. Some people may be coming to get a checkup. Some people may be coming to have some kind of injury or whatever. It wasn't an emergency room, but it was like a health facility type deal. And so finally he realized that the hallway itself, we passed by a door that said vaccinations para niños, so for the kids. And so we were like, all right, well, I know the N was missing on the niños part, but once we looked at it, it was like, oh, duh. And so we went over there, moved, I had baby Lobo strapped to me, and we waited. Once we got the number, we waited maybe 10 minutes. They called us in. They asked for Lobo's cellular card with his cellular number, and then of course our IDs, our passports. And after a while, they called us in. It didn't take long at all. Like, we were planning to be there at least like 2 hours, and even with us being confused and not knowing where to go or what to do and all of that, it was only maybe like 30 minutes. So I heard like maybe a phantom cry. Hold on. Yeah, definitely a phantom. He is still knocked out. I'm like, well, if he's crying, why isn't Micah getting him? Because he's right there. But phantom cry, that's a thing postpartum too. Hearing babies' cries that don't exist and when they aren't there. So anyway, so it was time to go in. It was this tiny room. Honestly, it looked like a closet. And so we got up, and they were like, oh, only one person. So I was like, okay, baby Lobo was strapped to me. So I went in with them. And they gave him this like medicine, and so I know this trick from way back when. If you blow in a baby's face, it makes them kind of like swallow a little bit. So I put my like mommy duties in play and helped him get the syrup down. And it was just kind of like a pain reliever, but something to also reduce the fever, because with the vaccines, especially so many at one time, they sometimes do get fevers and warm, and to keep him getting fever, they give him that right before. And so I was kind of holding it. He was strapped to my chest. I was kind of like holding his arms like this and like rocking him and kissing him a little bit. And she gives him the shot in the right leg. He screams like, ah! I'm like, oh my God, my baby. She's going to the other side. He was upset. Goes to the other side. She's to the other side. He's upset. He's like pissed, right? And so I'm hugging on him, like, it's okay, baby, giving them, you know, kisses and stuff. And we went back out, and I got Michael to get a bottle for him, but he calmed down. Like, he wasn't crying. He didn't cry more than like 3 to 5 minutes. So I was very proud of him. After he had the vaccinations yesterday, we went and got his prescription. So the pediatrician that we went to before, she gave us a prescription for some baby Tylenol, again, to help with the fever and stuff, which has to be given to him every 6 hours or so. And so we had already had the medicine in him from when we got the shots, but we ended up coming back to the house and getting brunch. We were like, hey, like, we saved $250. Like, we going to brunch. The $250 is going to be for the shot, so why not? And, you know, I definitely was excited about that because, you know, I was just about to get ready to cook, and if I can get out of cooking, which I do enjoy cooking, let me just say that I do enjoy cooking, but sometimes it can be a lot with the prep, the cooking, the cleanup, and the serving in between, you know, serving my family, making sure my family is good. But so it was a nice relief to have brunch. And then one of our friends, as we were about to leave out, she called and was like, hey, like, she's visiting Panama right now. She's thinking about moving here, but she was like, hey, I need to drop my stuff off at your place. If I can drop myself off at your place, I'm in between Airbnbs, and I'll take you guys to brunch or lunch or something if you want. We were like, whoa, that was right on time. So that ended up being pretty nice. And Baby Lobo was asleep the entire time. So the day he was definitely low key in the sense of he was sleeping most of the day. The medicine had him out. And he did pretty much sleep through the night as well. So he did get a little fidgety. I got up overnight and fed him, changed his diaper, and then put him back to sleep. So I didn't give him any medicine in the middle of the night. So he had his last medicine at around 11. And then he woke up at around like 3 a.m., 3:30. And I didn't give him any more medicine then. But when I got up around 7 or 8, I did go ahead and wake him up and give him some more medicine because his body felt warm. I checked out his temperature with the thermometer and they said he was fine, but I can just feel him. I could feel that he was warm, so I just went ahead and gave him the medicine anyway, even though it was a little bit over 6 hours. But he's sleeping now, he's chilling, he's doing good. And that was a very interesting experience, and it was pretty dope because you know, we were with the locals, you know what I mean? And the one thing I love about Panama City, Panama, is if you want the boucher, which sometimes it works for me, especially particularly in giving birth. I had an awesome birthing experience, which if you did not hear about that, definitely go and check out that video. It's a 3-part video talking about my birth experience at Panama Clinic with Dr. Roberto Lewis. Go ahead and check that out. It's absolutely amazing. But some stuff like that, you know, you want the little bit of bougie there for something like birth, but for vaccinations and things like that, it's like, hey, like, let's go with the locals, especially being that Baby Lobo is Panamanian and he does get all of this stuff for free, which we didn't know, but we found out. So yeah.